for this very successful meeting, where we are coming as a result of a meeting held between our respective presidents on the 30th of July this year, where it was agreed that we look at all manners of trade barriers that exist between Kenya and Uganda and try to resolve them. Some of them include the border logistical challenges, where sometimes you can take a day or 2 or 3 before you cross to take your cargo, and within 24 hours you want to clear the entire backlog that was there. And from here moving forward, we shall use both technology and other administrative and infrastructural measures that we have already agreed to ensure that nobody wastes more than 2 hours at the border for them to be able to come to Uganda or to go to Kenya, so that our people can trade. On average, a truck from Mombasa to Kampala would go like 4 trips if there were no delays, but they had reduced to 2. But if you remove these delays at the border, a truck can do 4 trips within 1 month. So we can easily increase productivity. And this is really our message to everybody else. So the first issue is on removing logistical challenges at the border, and we have agreed with my counterpart that working with our respective agencies, that we shall streamline to ensure that no time is wasted and all the small challenges there are unlocked. The second issue relates to other barriers that are perceived to be in the way of some excise duty here and there on certain commodities. Again, we have adopted that Kenya will treat products from Uganda as though they are from Kenya. So it will just be a transfer from Uganda to Kenya or Kenya to Uganda, which means it will not attract any duties. It will be treated within the East Africa Community protocols. And I think this is therefore a challenge to the Kenyan business people, that as you think of producing, whether agricultural, whether you are thinking of industrial, that your product market is not just Kenya, it's within the larger East Africa. But in particular, we have agreed this morning that anything that is needed to open up trade for people, our business people, we will make that smooth flow. And we expect that this will create jobs, will create wealth for our respective countries, and together we'll be able to collaborate. If there's something that Kenya is producing, and currently Uganda is importing from other countries out of the region, I think those are areas we want to talk so that we can have this market before we even go to look for other markets outside our region. And to thank Uganda for being that partner who has stood with Kenya at all times. We are looking at a bigger African market, so it would be wrong for us to continue to erect barriers within countries, neighboring countries, while we should be trading at a bigger level. The intra-trade within Africa is at about 16%. If you go to other regions, including Europe, is at 48%, others at 60%, but within Africa, trade is at 16%. So, and part of the reason is because there have been too many barriers when you want to trade with each other. And that's what we want to demolish and allow our people to trade. Instead of us exporting our young people to go and work in other continents where the trade and business is being carried smoothly, we can be able to create those jobs here by making trade a reality. So once again, thank you, and to give the assurance of our respective business people that Kenya stands committed to implement the instructions given by respective heads of state.
My big brother, the Cabinet Secretary of Investment, Trade and Industry in Kenya, for sparing time and his delegation to come and resolve some of the outstanding issues that we thought, in our view, were inhibiting free flow of trade movement of goods and services, which is not good for our people. And so, like I told you, we have sat, scrutinized them, discussed them, and come up with solutions that should be able to remove or break these non-tariff barriers that were coming through levy of certain duties that go against the East African Community Treaty and